Premature birth, defined as delivering before 37 weeks, is the leading cause of newborn death globally. In fact, 1 in 10 pregnancies will result in a premature birth. Well, now there is a new prenatal test available through a doctor that can predict a woman's individualized risk of delivering earlier. Joining us today is Dr. Jill Heckman, Medical Director at Tampa Obstetrics, with more information. Good morning, Dr. Jill.
Good morning. Thanks for having me.
I'm so fascinated by this test, and I think people are going to start hearing about this a lot more. But first, let's talk about the issues that come up with preterm labor, which again, a lot of women facing.
Like you said, 1 in 10 deliveries are born prematurely. Premature birth is defined as delivering before 37 weeks and after 20 weeks. And I think that's a kind of important thing to distinguish. So once you hit 37, your term, ideally, we'd like to be over 39 weeks.
What are the issues when you do, when you go into preterm labor? Why is this an issue that we need to look at?
There are so many different portions. So there's a social impact, how it affects you and your family. There's obviously the medical impact and what's going to affect the baby. Baby's going to have risk factors, problems that can occur because they delivered prematurely. Also the economic impact. 2005 quoted $30 billion spent for premature births. And so a baby that's born in the NICU has about a $50,000 cost versus a term baby with about a $5,000 cost. So whatever we can do to prolong pregnancy, the better.
So now there's news of this exciting test, which has been around for just about a year, right? So this is where I say I think people are going to start hearing about this more, correct?
Exactly. It's new. It's the first and only one, which is actually a blood test. You go to your doctor's office, get the test, and it can detect if you're at risk of having a premature birth. And it was clinically validated in a study in one of our very reputable journals that said this test knows what to do and gets the job done and can predict whether you're going to deliver early.
Again, this is fascinating to me. So which women who, if someone's pregnant this morning, who should get this test?
So the person who should get this test is a woman who has a single baby. So this does not work for twins or other multiple gestations. And 50% of the women that deliver prematurely had no risk factors.
Wow.
So the risk factors that are important, obviously if you've had a prior preterm birth, that puts you more at risk for delivering prematurely. But other risk factors that you wouldn't necessarily think of, poor nutrition, smoking, having multiple pregnancies, having a shortened cervix, infection, these are other reasons why you might deliver prematurely.
Now what say you, Dr. Jill, about someone going, you know what, I may just not want to know because it's going to cause me to be more anxious or more fearful. What say you, Dr. Jill?
That happens a lot. People are saying, I don't want to know if I'm at risk. I want to just have a happy pregnancy. And I always try to convince them that they do want to know the risk because knowledge is key. And if you have that knowledge, you and your doctor can come up with a plan. What can we do to try to not deliver preterm? Are there things out there that we would use to try to lengthen your pregnancy? So I think I look at that knowledge as power, and I think that it might alleviate your nerves. And of course, if it comes back negative, that you're not at risk, then you can say, whew, scratch one thing off that I have to worry about.
If we could only do more of that, I love that.
Exactly.
Hey, we have a little less than 30 seconds left. What's your take home? What do you want people really to know about this?
I think just getting the message out about premature birth and the impact it can have on you and your family, and that now we do have a new test available.
So ask your doctor for this.
Ask your doctor for it. More. The traditional methods that we've had in the past are not great, and this is something new that I really do think will change what happens in pregnancy. It's going to have a big impact.
I would say so too. I agree. Dr. Jill, thank you so much for coming on the show today and telling more people about this, more future moms as well.
Thanks for having me.
All right, and again, we'll put all the info on our website as well so you can find out more too.